Hello and welcome to The Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. This time we're going to have a bottle from a distillery we haven't seen before. It's from Bladnoch. It's the 10-year-old lowland single malt Scotch whisky. It is the 200th anniversary edition for the distillery. Lowland distillery, Bladnoch. Bottled at 46.7% ABV. 100% Ex-Bourbon. It doesn't say anything about artificial colour, but I believe it's natural colour. I paid about £55 to £60 for this one from online retailer, 700cl. First thing I want to talk about is the packaging. This is a very cheap cardboard carton here. Hold it up so you can see it with a little bit of shiny bit of foil on there, and then inside we actually have a very expensive, very heavy, almost perfume bottle. But one thing you'll notice is there's almost no gap between the edge of the box and the bottle. So as it goes in and out, you actually feel a whoosh of air, and it feels very, very solid because there's just no give in the bottle. That's an interesting way of doing it. I mean, you don't see that very often. Often you see a bottle in a tube and you rattle it and it shakes around in there, but it feels really high quality for it to be so snug in the box. And the bottle itself, really, really heavy. I mean, it probably weighs over a kilo on its own. Really thick, really big stopper with the stylized B for Bladnoch on there, and you can see just how thick this is. It's like one of those glass blocks that people had in their houses in the 70s. Really, really thick bottomed thing. So it feels really, really heavy in the hand. Really like this small label that wraps around the bottle with a bit of foil detail on it. It's nice. It feels very, very solid. And inside as it goes in, it feels like a piston in its cylinder, because it just feels almost has an engineered feeling to it. Okay, so 100% Ex-Bourbon, lowland distillery, but it's a double distilled whiskey, not a triple distilled whiskey. Lowland has a reputation for triple distilling because Auchentoshan does a lot of triple distilling. The others don't tend to do so. I don't think Glenkinchie triple distills, does it? Probably not. It doesn't say anything about natural colour, but it looks very light, as expected for a 10-year-old bourbon matured whiskey. So my guess is that this is probably a natural colour. Very strange maltiness. On the nose, I mean, it's got a champagne grape. It's got a light maltiness, but it's very forward on the nose. It's very robust. And that's on alcohol robustness. That's an abundance of flavour. I mean, I'm picking up some green leaf, basil type notes. Blackpool Rock, which is a sweet candy, mint candy. Menthol is in there as well, sweet menthol. But there are slightly, not bitter herbal notes, but not particularly sweet herbal notes on there. The lowland champagne malt, there's a lot of flavour. Even though it only manages to be, even though it's light flavour, there's a lot of it. It's difficult. It's a robust lowland, a lot of light flavour. Grape, spearmint, hint of sweet ginger, grapefruit, hemp or other green notes. A light oakiness. That just sits very well against the malt. Good bourbon cask, a Chardonnay grape starting to come through. A nice, pleasant solvent that combines nicely with the malt. So you do pick up a pear drop type note. It's honeyed, there's some rose water. So unusual and very, very pleasant on the nose. Let's see what it's like on the palate. Lively and tangy maltiness going on there. You know, it's got a honeyed and vanilla. I'd say they're fairly dominant, but this has got a fuller mouthfeel at 46.7% ABV than a lot of crap Highlands do at 40% ABV. Lots of champagne, grape, tangy maltiness, twist of lemon, cooling mint, pineapple, dried pineapple, vanilla, lip smacking, sweet and sour notes on the palate. So at 46.7%, I will give it just a little bit of water, about half a teaspoon, plus a drop for good luck. It's brought out a herbal thing that I just can't quite describe. More of a cooling mint, chamomile, mint tea, a very chlorophyll note, almost like wheatgrass, starts to come through. Meadow flowers. More of the Blackwall rock, the candy cane, sweet mint, lemon rind. Much sweeter, sweet and sour notes, and the oat starts to come to the fore. There's also a very biscuity, cereal type note that comes through. That's unusual because of it's of the lowland style that I'm not particularly used to. You have a little fudge now on the nose, which I wasn't expecting. The finish is herbal, sweet and sour, malty, lingering red chili, apple skins, honey, fresh basil, lavender, and moorish bitterness. Actually, leaves behind a little bit of dryness as well on the tongue, which is nice and unexpected. So, what to make of this then? Very, very strange. Just as it's a cheap cotton to conceal a very expensive bottle, I'm somebody who generally likes a bit more robust than this. You know, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy a lowland whiskey generally, but this is fantastic. It is a robust lowland whiskey, not peated, but a robust lowland whiskey. Light flavours, but lots of them. And that's because the highish ABV, the lack of chill filtration, the use of good casks has allowed the character of this to shine through. So it's really very, very good, and it's unexpected, particularly if you've been drinking Arctic Tosh, which I don't particularly like. You know, and you're expecting lowland whiskies to be very light, and therefore, well, it's not going to have much flavour. This has plenty of flavour, plenty of character as well. So I recommend this. You're looking for a lowland whiskey. You're normally drinking the Highland whiskies, the interesting Speysides, or the peated whiskies. This is a really good thing. So challenge yourself to try something that's maybe outside of your normal comfort zone. Highly recommended. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the review, and speak to you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.